2022. Oh. All right, that again. We'll call that the unofficial. We have now kicked off this meeting. This is the 2023 Harris Charitable Fund. What do you call this? Application and allocation process. There we go. So we will go through each one of these, and we'll take all the council's recommended amounts. We have $100,000 we have to allocate. There you go. You have anything further? We're just going to go down the list, top to bottom, start shooting out numbers. We'll start writing them down. And so here we go. Feed Northland Kids is number one. Last year they received. Do you want to talk through this, Crystal? Or do you want me to?
I don't care.
Okay, last year they received $9,000. This year they're requesting $9,000. Any recommendations from council on Feed Northland Kids? Councilmember Graves.
I just want to make sure that, is this the same organization that the lady came and kind of gave us a little presentation?
Yeah, they do the backpacks, and the backpacks go home with the kids on the weekends and have
Okay,
the
because
weekend.
a couple of the programs seem kind of redundant, but this one I remember being impressed with, and we fully funded it last year, so I'm on board with the same.
All right, fully fund 9,000. Okay, I see you all in agreement here. All right, so that leaves us. Let me get it. There you go. My math does work on here. $91,000. Next up, I got Briarcliff Elementary PTO, and I don't have my full book, so Crystal, you may get to describe their projects if someone asks. Briarcliff PTO, they received $1,000. Am I on the right one?
I went with 1,000.
$1,000 last year, $2,500 is what they're requesting this year. Any feedback on that? You
I
said
also
what?
put 1,000 on that just because I think that those sensory objects are going to have to be replaced.
Yeah. And I will say, we might be able to come back at the end too and shave some off some of these. We get to the bottom of the list and there's 0 left. So there's some movement here. Okay, we got 1,000. Anybody else? 1,000. We got 1,000. Okay, we got 1,000. All right, next up, Eastgate 6th Grade Center. I didn't update my projects. Post-pandemic progress. Last year, no application. This year, $5,000 was the request.
I
Any
set this
numbers
one
here?
aside.
Set it aside. What do we got? No, they have an application this year, not last year. Or no, they did. Yeah, no, this year they did. I'm sorry. I'm going to the ones, if they didn't submit one, I'm just skipping over that line. This one's for Eastgate.
Crystal, can you
There we
tell
go.
us a little more about Eastgate?
They're out of order. I just read about this. It had something to do with providing kids with prizes and activities to do out of class, because it says that since they came back from the pandemic, that they're having trouble staying focused in class and things like that. These are out of order, so it's kind of hard to find.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure people that are listening at home that we're talking about what that was for.
Here it is. I can read fast. Majority of our students and their parents work in the North Kansas City schools. Student behavioral concerns led students being unable to stay in the classroom rose dramatically after the pandemic, and we have done some work with our school to implement plans to increase positive school behaviors with student input. Part of this includes students spending Live School points for rewards. Money from this fund would purchase rewards for students. Money from this fund would also pay student lunch balances, because during the pandemic, lunch was free. Parents are struggling with this cost, and it could really help. I wrote $1,000 on my paper.
All right, opening up at 1,000 here. What do we got? Agree, disagree, hold. What do we got?
I cut it in half at 2,500. I really do think that that kids are struggling coming back to school. I think we're having a lot of behavior issues, and there just isn't the funding available that there should be to help support those. So if they have a positive behavior support system and plan that they need help funding, I would support that.
All right, got 1,000, 2,500.
I'm going to roll with that teacher comment right there.
2,500. All right, further. 2,500, 2,500. Okay, we'll lean 2,500 there for now. Next up, Level Up Kids, formerly Miles for Smiles. I didn't update my sheet with the actual new projects, so there you go. Last year, 7,000. This year, requested 8,000. Any opening bid on this one? Yeah, there you go. You be prepared to read the projects.
I really like Miles of Smiles. I kept it at 7,000 because I'm having a hard time keeping it in budget.
I did the same.
But I think it's an important program for kids.
Okay, we got a couple sevens. What else? Anyone else on another number? 7. Okay.
I thought
We'll go 7,000. Next up, Northland Healthcare Access, 9,500 received last year, 12,500 requested this year. What do we got?
With 9,500,
Same.
just same as last year.
95, 10.
I'm okay with both. I had done 9,500 again because I'm struggling to keep it in the
Okay, we'll
budget.
start with 95.
So I'll just make,
Go ahead, please.
sorry, I'm speaking out of order. Just a side note that's applicable to a bunch of these, one thing I was just trying to keep one eye on is who the program serves.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these are like way out of the scope of North Kansas City. And this is one that I would agree with, like funding at the same level as last year, but no more. It does go into Platte County and Clay County. So some of these, we might be putting money into, not that it's a bad thing, but, we're putting money into, might be Parkville or Riverside or whatever.
I plugged that one in for 9,500 at the moment here. Or someone else can too. Who's doing that? Is that you? 9,500. Got it. All right. Thank you. Next up, Life Unlimited. Last year received 5,000. This year requested 5,000.
Same.
I have them at 5. They're local.
Five.
They're
I saw
right
head
here
nod.
on Armour.
5. Okay. Go 5. There we go. Briar Cliff Business Partner Alliance for Levy Days. Didn't request anything before. This is a new one, and they're requesting $17,000. Councilmember Graves.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just be blunt. Like last year, we didn't have any zeros, and this one triggered me for two reasons. One, they're asking for a lot of money, and two, when I'm sitting here reading about foster kids and people, homeless people, and fixing kids' teeth, and then all of a sudden they're having a party in Briar Cliff. This one I would drop a 0 on.
I think they are.
I have them at 0.
Yeah. I believe they do intend to hold this down here, I think. Not that I'm saying on
At
this.
Mackin
But
Park.
they may be able to qualify for another tourism grant or something, other program we do, so. Okay, so we got 0. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, I'm for the party, but not for the funding.
there we go, got it. Vocational Services Incorporated. Received $750 last year. This year requested $6,084.
I
that a
put them at
typo?
750 to be kind.
You have it at 750? 750.
I had a question about this one,
Okay.
actually. I thought that we funded refrigerators last year. Is this,
It was refrigerators, I'm almost positive.
No, this one says walk behind floor scrubber equipment.
That's for this year.
That's this
Okay.
year. Last year, did I say refrigerators?
I don't
I might
no,
have, because
maybe
I
it
have
was
last
just
year's projects on
refrigerators in my
sheet.
brain, sorry.
No, this year, yeah. No, it was, because that's what I have on this sheet. This year's a walk behind floor scrubber equipment. Yeah. So 7, did I hear a number? Councilmember Graves.
Yeah, just FYI, I know I kind of have met these people through the business council, and it is a local entity, and they serve individuals with developmental disabilities. They've been here in North Kansas City since 1966. So, I mean, I would recommend at least 1,000 on this one if possible. I know we're going to get tight at the end with funding, but I would
support starting there. I mean, I think we're going to have to come back and cut things,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at
1,000.
That's fine.
All right, there we go. Firefighter, CSO, that is the Community Service Organization of North Kansas City. $20,000, didn't request anything last year. But I think this is back in line with what they previously requested as well. Correct?
I think last year they didn't get anything.
Yeah, last year they didn't, but previous years, this is
Yes.
generally the average request. All right, here we go.
Only because the way my numbers worked out, I had them around 10,000. Yeah. Just because I ran out of money.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was for? Because I think we may duplicate some of those items with funding for
The ramps.
the home
and-
improvements.
Yeah, that's what, they usually use it for, well, I mean, if the chief's in, he knows what they use it for, but I think they use it a lot for doing ramps and helping people
He's-
around that
he's-
have problems in their houses.
He's here, but he's not present.
Oh, he is too.
He's coming.
He probably didn't want
He's
to.
getting the call up, and during the work session, this is a early entrance to the night. Good evening.
Good evening.
That was Lisa, Councilmember Phil's question.
It was me. I would, of course, love to give you $20,000.
Okay.
But I was wondering if we had overlap. I was thinking we had some overlap here with the programs we've started funding that should also.
Well,
do these things.
there's some overlap. They provide kind of through the year, if somebody pops up, if we have a house fire, in lieu of maybe the Red Cross, they'll put the family up at a hotel for a couple days or provide them with some gift cards to buy food at restaurants or from a grocery store. They will provide, ramps used to be one of our things that we'd actually go out and build the ramps. However, we learned that we needed to follow building codes and get permits and all that. It was easier to help some other, but that's not a big request anymore because of the other programs that are available. I know they put together and provide food for families over the holidays and just different things of need. And we didn't request any last year for the community service organizations because they hadn't used what we had the previous year because of some issues with COVID, kind of really did away with a lot of our ability to provide those funds. But it's really spread out over, it can be a lot of things that we provide help for. We've had people that have went to Rita Pierce for help with their bills that really don't qualify, and the community service organization will sit down and work with them to determine if there is a need. So it's just a wide variety. There's no set program that they fund with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I turned myself up. There we go. 10,000, 10,000. Anything else? Am I hearing a different? All right. We will plug in $10,000. 5-star jazz band. And we are down to, is your sheet up? 55,900. My sheet's off somewhere. I'll trust that number. 5-star jazz band. 500 last year. 1,300 was the request this year.
I went with 500. You went with 0.
I went with 0. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I had a really
Leaves more room.
I have the thing here if you need anything.
hard time making the numbers work, and it was, a choice between providing
Sure.
things that people need to survive.
Oh, I see where I'm off.
But I would support the group. This is just me wiggling my numbers on my page.
We got 500. We got 0. Where we go?
I like 500 on this, and I think at the end, we're going to have to start sucking money out of some of these other giant funds. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
offend firefighters, but some of these bigger funds, like, we might have to suck a little bit out of those.
That's usually how these nights end is, kind of rebalancing again.
500.
500, 500, 500. All right. For now, 500. In as much ministry.
Or went 2,000.
I went 1,500 here.
2,000, 1,500.
Crystal, do you have that one?
I do.
I'm trying to find it.
Do you want me to read the description of the project?
If you don't mind. Oh, I just found it.
Description of Inasmuch Ministry Food Pantry. Inasmuch Ministry is a 501(c)(3). They support people, low-income persons in Clay County. It is an all-volunteer pantry, has no parent organization, and operates primarily on community product and monetary donations and from applied grants. In addition to the food pantry, it distributes USDA Emergency Food Assistance Program and Commodity Supplement Food Program. Offers utility funds, assists with prescription expenses, provides bread, baked goods, and fresh produce, distributes school supplies and clothing vouchers to area children, partners with area churches for the Kids Weekend Foods Program, and offers the Children's Christmas Program. North Kansas City residents, Inasmuch Ministry, will use 100% of the funds received from the Harris Charitable Fund to help residents within the North Kansas City corporate limits with food pantry and support services.
All right, so we had 1,500, 2,000. What else we got going? Go
I
ahead.
like 2,000 on this. This is one of the ones that I like the fact that they keep the money in North Kansas City instead of just spreading it out all over the place. So I would like to keep it the same.
We got 15, 15, or 15, 2, 2. Going 1750. We going 2.
2.
Where are we going? 2. 2.
I'll
2.
support
Okay.
2 on that. Yeah.
2. Okay, we'll take 2. All right, Hillcrest Ministries of Mid-America. 10,000 last year, requested 15,000 this year. Go ahead.
I was actually really impressed with the write-up on this one. We did 10 last year, and if you read, I don't want to put this on Crystal to do it. I'm trying to find it here real quick.
I think I have it.
But this is one that they also keep in North Kansas City. And instead of doing like, here it is, I found it. So real quick, it says the goal is to move those who are employed into rental housing of their choice as soon as possible. Hillcrest seeks funding to serve 10 to 15 homeless households in North Kansas City. 100% of the fund will be expended in North Kansas City, providing case management, financial counseling, and financial assistance to homeless households. So I think we have a serious need for this in our community, so this one's important. I think we should do at least 10 and maybe even consider increasing this one.
I did 10 for
We got 10
budget
plus.
purposes.
We got 10 plus, 10.
I would start at 15, and we may have to cut it.
I heard 10, 10, 10. 15, 10 plus.
10 plus.
We got 12, 12, 5, 12, 5, 10.
I think
We stuck
10,
on
and
10,
we
we
can
good to
come
10?
back to this, because I think it's,
10 with
write-up
the
was
about-
really good.
You know what, we
Yeah.
will 10, and then I will actually star this one here. So we will 10 and give that one a little star. All right, Clay County 4-H. Last year received 1,000. This year's requesting 4,000.
I went 1,000.
All right, 1,000.
1,000.
1,000. No other. Okay, 1,000. All right. Cub Scout Pack 4009 at the First Christian Church. Last year received 1,000. This year requesting 2,000.
1,000.
Got 1,000. Please go ahead.
I just want to note, I'm no longer part of this organization, so I can comment on it, but what they use that money for is to lower the cost of scouts, which actually is very expensive. I don't know if you guys are aware, but yeah, I've got 2 kids and 2 registered adult leaders in scouts, and it's very expensive. So they take that money and then just apply it toward everyone to lower their initiation, their dues.
I forget.
I have it at 1,000.
1,000, I think, or another 1,000. 1. All right, I'm good with 1. Good. All right. There we go. 1,000. Northland Christmas Store last year received 2,500. This year is requesting 5,000. Numbers or descriptions, or what do we need here? What
I
do
have it if you.
I know they do gift cards and, things like
Yeah.
that for families and food. I put them at 2,500,
It says that
like the in-between.
1,000 children ages 18 and under will receive gifts or a gift card.
Did it have a North Kansas City number tied to that too?
It says at least 35% of clients live in the North Kansas City city limits, and all students attend North Kansas City schools.
All right, I heard 2,500.
Yeah.
Over here, anything?
2,500 is good.
2,500. Okay. 2,500. The Northland Symphony Orchestra Association last year received $500. This year's requesting $2,000.
I put 500, but I could be open to 0.
500 open to 0. All right.
That sounds so terrible, and I don't mean that at all.
500 indicates our support.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely
It's
supportive,
kind of
but it's very hard to cut
500 though.
86.
Is that a now 500 from you? Okay, we got a 500, a
Yeah.
500.
I'm good with that.
Okay, going 500. All right. Now my eyes are getting blurry here. What's next? Northland Shepherd Center. Last year received 8,000. This year requested 15,000. And we have 37,500 left.
Do you need to know anything? I have it. Let me see. It does say that on this, more caregivers, blah, 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 spend unpaid care for loved ones. Physical and emotional demands of caring for someone can be exhausting. I was trying to see how much. It says,
Great highlights.
I'm doing good, aren't I? Together We Care, a program with Tri-County Mental Health, offers monthly facilitated peer support groups, a caring cafe with activities and speakers where loved ones are also welcome. Our caregiver-directed respite program allows the caregiver to hire whomever they wish to provide care for their loved ones while they take time for themselves. The caregiver and care recipient must reside in the same Clay County household and meet additional eligibility guidelines. NSC serves Clay and Platte counties, and currently 2.2% of our caregivers live in 64116 and 64117.
All right, here we go. What do we got for numbers? Go ahead,
The
please.
same problem that it doesn't really focus on North Kansas City.
Yeah, 2% in the 64116 isn't great. That's actually 2 zip codes. I am gonna say 3,000.
3,000. We got an opener here.
That's
3,000.
generous. I was going to pop a 2,000 on it.
I will go to 2,000.
Oh, there we go.
I'll
Now
go
we're
to
2. We got it. 2. Okay, here we go. There we go. 2,000. All right, next up, St. Patrick's Nottingham Society. Last year received 4,000. This year's requesting 6,000.
I kept it at 4.
Kept it 4. We got 4.
I also kept it at 4.
Liz is
4.
sitting here, so I'm scared to go below 4.
4.
Four's good.
4. All right. I put 94. 4. Now I'm back on track. A Turning Point. Last year received 2,500. This year requesting 7,500.
I did 2,500.
25. 25. Okay.
Crystal, can you tell us, based on the write-up that you have, which areas they serve?
Yeah. Sorry that I'm not in order. I should have looked at this before.
They're not in order on this either. so
Yeah, I
that's what-
printed it
that's
off
what makes
there
it
and
hard.
just said, oh, I'll
think
just
I-
do that.
It says 100%.
I think I found it.
Okay.
Lisa, it says 100% will be served here.
Yeah, the operating budgets.
Yeah, it says, the operating budget for these programs totals over 185,000. Therefore, the 7,500 request is approximately 4% of that number, ensuring that 100% of these funds will be spent on those living in the North Kansas City limits.
It's for basic needs, says
Yeah.
food, wardrobe, academy,
Blessings.
blessings.
Community
Blessings
bills-
are expensive these days.
Community bills, meals, and guest house programs.
We're still on a turning point. 2,500. Okay, back to where we were. 2,500. What do we got? What? More? Less? Indifferent? Okay, I'm locking in. 2,500.
I'd go higher. 100% is going, and this is basic need stuff. I'd double it in 5,000.
Heard a bunch of 2,500s. Where are we? We'll plug it in
I'm
2,500.
going to adjust at the end.
That was a
That's
turning
fine.
point, right?
We can star that one with all the extra money we'll have at the end.
I'll star that one. Most of these here in 2,500. Go 2,500. Next up, Metropolitan Lutheran Ministry, 10,000 last year, requested 10,000 this year.
I had them at 10,000.
10.
10, 10, 10. Other numbers, hearing a bunch of 10s. Plug in a 10. $19,000 remaining. Mine matches yours. Perfect. Northland Assistance Center last year received 5. This year requesting 7,500. What's our opener?
I put 5,000.
5,000. 5. See a nod, at least one nod. 5,000, 5,000, 5. Thumbs up, nod. Okay, there we go. 5,000 on that one. Next up, Friends.
Can you put a star on that one?
Yeah, I'll start that one too.
I mean, that's just what we know.
There we go. Friends of Clay County CASA received 3,000 last year, requesting 6,000 this year. Councilmember Graves.
This one caught my eye. I think it's important. It's for foster children, and this is also one I kind of put a note that 100% of the funds would be for North Kansas City. It would stay here in town. So I would like to keep it at least 3, maybe go up some.
I have 3.
3.
I'd like to put a star on it, have it
Start at 3.
start at 3.
Start at 3. Start at 3. Start at 3. We will start at 3. All right, next up, St. Charles Food Pantry. Last year received 2,500. This year is requesting $5,000.
I also put 2,500.
All right, here we go. 2,500. What else? 25.
25's good.
Do we need more description? What do we need?
This
2,500. Or 25 is good. There's a second one.
This one says all monies received will be spent on food for the residents of North Kansas City using the pantry.
All right. Got a few 2,500s. We're going to 2,500. All right, there we go. Transitions.
Time out 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Where's St. Charles located? That's what I thought. That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, I'm all about food pantries, but just FYI, like, I don't think that's really serving North Kansas City so much. I mean, there might be like kids that go to North Kansas City High School maybe that live in that area, but not really
Um,
NKC residents per se. Like if we were going to fund food then I think that 2,500 or a portion thereof, we could actually put at the NAC or something like that and actually have more of an impact on our community instead of Gladstone.
I agree.
They-
Not that I hate people in Gladstone or anything, but I represent North Kansas City, not Gladstone.
All right, so
It-
is there some agreement? Okay, Crystal has something
It
first.
does say in here, just so everybody knows it, that there's 68 families from North Kansas City that consisted of 150 adults, 78 children. They served 180 family visits from North Kansas City residents, feeding 391 adults and 165 children.
Yeah, I had that highlighted. I mean, that's significant coming from our area.
2,500 is the number I'm at. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go?
Keep it there.
Yeah.
If there for now, let's stay, okay. Transitions Family Visitation Center, last year received 3,000, this year's requesting 8,000. We have 8,500 remaining. And 3 items left.
Seems like it does itself the rest of the way. 3, 5, 500.
Yeah.
We gotta knock out 3 at once here. Let's start one at a time here. We're gonna go 3
I
on the
have
first
three.
one here.
I have 3 on
Go
that.
3 on this one. 3 on this one. All right, there you go. Math may just work us out here. Okay. Assistance League of Kansas City received 5,000 last year, requested 5,000 this
5.
year. We got a 5 over here. The Assistance League of, oh yeah, okay. Assistance League of Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to know what the project
Please.
is? Operation School Bell, and it supplies clothes, hygiene items, shoes, and a book to needy elementary school children, as well as clothing and hygiene items for middle and high schoolers. The biggest benefit for these children is they get brand-new clothes of their choice, not hand-me-downs or thrift store purchases. This allows them to go to school with new clothes that actually fit, so they feel more confident when attending and working on learning. The pride and excitement are evident and are mentioned many times in our post-visit surveys. Without these items, many times children either do not attend or show up in the same dirty outfits over and over again and are looked down on their peers. We service all of the North Kansas City School District Elementary, Middle, and the North Kansas City High School. Every bit of the $5,000 will serve to help clothe those within the North Kansas City city limits.
All right, here we go. What do we got?
Yeah, I'm on board with this one. It's
5,000.
important for kids to go to school.
On board, you
with
mean
good
5?
clothes.
5?
Yeah.
5.
5. 5 is good. That leaves us $500 for this one that is requesting $1,500, which is the Corbin Theater Company.
I had 0.
Ooh, we got a 0. That might change the game here.
I had
Fi-
0 too again. It's really hard to
It's
make all the
5%
money fit.
of, they don't, it's like kind of an unknown commodity in there because it's just like a guesstimation on how many students potentially from North Kansas City even go to this theater and watch this thing.
So we got a 0. What else we got?
Zero's fine. Throw the 500 back.
Councilmember Graves.
You know what? I mean, Councilmember Roberts is actually making a good point too, in that I think sometimes we set kind of a precedent. Like if you toss money at something that's not really applicable to North Kansas City, then a year from now, there might be different people up here on council that just look back and they're like, oh, we gave them $500, so let's give them $1,000. And it just sets a precedent. So if something's not really serving our community, I would rather give that money to somebody that needs a house or food
All
or
right.
something.
So we're here in 0s. 0s. I'm here mostly 0. Okay, we'll go 0s. So I think
I
we'll
will
take the
fight,
500.
though, that say that theater is very important for children
Oh,
and
yeah.
communities, and this might be their bid to go, let's try to get people engaged in theater again, because COVID's over and all the restraints have been somewhat lifted. So I can't help but feel for
I
that,
just got to look at anything changing. All right.
being a theater major.
Still a 0. Thank you, though. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay, so that leaves $500. We just the 4-starred items. I have bad vision. 3-starred items. 4-starred items I have Hillcrest Ministries, A Turning Point, Northland Assistance Center, and Friends of Clay County CASA. You just want to put the 401 or 501 of those for Councilmember Toll.
Actually, I have something I wanted to bring up that we could discuss as a group, which is Hillcrest, coming back to Hillcrest. In order to do this, we would have to cut some things that are already out there. But we already spend a lot of money on emergency homeless services. So the idea of being able to take a family that is homeless currently and not only help them to find a place to stay, but to follow that up with services to manage and be able to remain there on their own independently and not be evicted, I think could actually save us emergency funds in other areas. But this is the hardest thing. I know it seems like an Oprah moment to people, like $500 here and $1,000 there, but you're essentially saying no to other things. But I think as far as managing money, this is something that could pay back more than the money that we're giving it.
Councilmember Graves.
Amen, 100%. That was, in going through all of these, that was the one thing that caught my eye was the Hillcrest Ministries. And if you read what they actually do in their mission, that's something that I think has long-term impacts on our community. And I think everyone can tell that the number of homeless people has increased in our community. And this is more of a long-term program to get them to transition into permanent housing instead of just getting them a hotel room for the night or, giving them a backpack with some socks in it and stuff like that, which is important. But this is more of a long-term. So I would be fully on board, and it's going to suck to do this, but I would be on board to sit here and come up with and put 500, that additional 500, and then come up with another 4,500 and tack it on here and make Hillcrest 15,000.
All right, one step. We'll take one step here. Do we want to take the 500 and place it into their first step one here? Is that?
Yep.
Or good with the 500 Hillcrest Ministries? Okay.
Yep. We
will do that. That'll exhaust everything, and then we can decide if we want an additional process on the rest. I know mine looks different. You're probably gonna. You want to match them up real quick here on what we got going down the list? Start at the top. We should be the same because we're both at 100,000. Yeah, you got 9,000 Feed Northland Kids, 1,000 Briarcliff, 2,500 Eastgate, 7,000 Level Up Kids, 9,500 Northland Healthcare Access, got 5,000 Life Unlimited, 0 for Briarcliff Business Partners, 1,000 Vocational Services, 10,000 Firefighter CSO, 500 Five Star Jazz Band, 2,000 Inasmuch Ministry, 10,500 at Hillcrest Ministries, 1,000 Clay County 4-H, 1,000 Cub Scout Pack 4009, Northland Christmas Store 2,500, Northland Symphony Orchestra Association 500, Northland Shepherd Center 2,000, St. Patrick's Nottingham Society 4,000, a Turning Point 2,500, Metropolitan Lutheran Ministry 10,000, Northland Assistance Center 5,000, Friends of Clay County CASA 3,000, St. Charles Food Pantry 2,500, Transitions Family Visitation Center 3,000, Assistance League of Kansas City 5,000, and the Corbin Theater Company 0. That's like reading a title to some of these ordinances. Got there though. All right, so what do we want to do with that? There you go, Councilmember Smith.
And I've taken the tack in the last couple of years of like kids and families and like basic needs. And while Amy's point is well taken, theater is important, music is important, I would go back to the two with the Five Star Jazz Band, the Symphony Orchestra, and pull the 500, which is not going to be a huge amount of funding for that, and move that 1,000 into the Hillcrest piece.
What was the second? Five Star Jazz Band.
There's Five Star Jazz Band and the Symphony, Northland Symphony Orchestra.
All right, comments on that? I'm sorry, Councilmember Graves.
Yeah, I would go ahead and second that, and then top that off with pull 500 from 4-H and make it 500 instead of 1,000, and take 500 from the Cub Scout 4,009 and make that 500 instead of 1,000 as well. And that would come up with an additional 2,000 for Hillcrest with.
Agreeance and the rest of that. Uh-oh. Look like
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah.
Are we gonna
Now,
chop
Mike
some
got all
money?
that right? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so we got, okay, Five Star Jazz Band is going to go from 500 to 0. Northland Symphony is going to go from 500 to 0. Cub Scout Pack 4009 will go from, to 500. And the Clay County 4-H will go from 1,000 to 500. I got to make those updates on my sheet.
Extra 2,000.
And then you got to add the 2,000. Yes, that. And that takes me to 0, and I'm not going to reread them all. I'll just assume we're both good on the same page here. With that, I did the undo button before I hit the save button. Idiot.
Which one?
I know this is going to make me, sorry.
We're going to start over again?
No, well, this is,
Okay.
I'm still looking for money, and I know that this is going to make me a Grinch. But the Northland Christmas Store, if we could shave that back.
What's the organization? Oh, it is number 9 Christmas store. Yeah.
So we're doing gift cards on that. If we could shave that back to 1,000, we could add 1,500.
Number 19.
Northland Christmas store, 2,500 to 1,000 proposal. We haven't agreed to that yet. Maybe we have. Have we agreed to that? We have now agreed to that. So
Yep.
that is the Northland Christmas store from 2,500 to 1,000. Taking the 1,500 and bumping up Hillcrest Ministries. So 14, right?
Yep.
Now we're on back to 0 again. So you got that 14,000 Hillcrest. Oh, I guess you just look at your
1,000
sheet.
more somewhere. Graves.
I got 500 that we could pull from the Eastgate's sixth grade center post-pandemic progress. Make it 2,000 instead of 2,500.
All right, we got Eastgate,
Is anybody
2,500 to 2,000.
Opposed to that?
Anyone good with that? Opposed?
As long as it's not coming out of teacher salary to fund.
We're gonna take you to 4-day school week.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, 2,500, 2,000. That is good.
The
So we're
last-
going from 2,500 to 2,000 on the
$500 more.
Eastgate sixth grade
last-
center, and we're gonna increase Hillcrest Ministries to 4,500.
Yeah, I think the last 500 comes out of that last,
14,500.
the last item that, it was like buying the new clothes. That
That
one,
was
I-
item 30, Assistance League of Kansas City.
yeah,
So
yeah,
thinking
school bell. I would go to
5,000 to
4,500.
4,000. Okay,
4,500.
4,500 on the Assistance League.
Yep.
Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
And taking that 500 and moving it to Hillcrest Ministry. All right, so we got 4,500 on the Assistance League of Kansas City, and that now takes you to $15,000 for Hillcrest Ministries.
Good work.
And we're back to 0. With that, I'm scared to ask you anything else. No, I'm just kidding. We good? We good? We gonna read? If we're
Always
happy,
painful.
we happy?
Yep.
With that, we are adjourned.
I apologize that they were out of order. We
Sure.
won't do that next year.
We're good.
Not
Thank
your
you.
fault.